Good morning, YouTube. It's mzblackpearlz. I'm on my way out to the doctor to kind of make sure it's okay for me to go back to work. My hair is actually completely dry right now, and what I'm about to do is initiate the LOC method on fully air-dried hair. It feels kind of hard to the touch. I don't like it when it's like that, but this is what's going on with my hair. I'm going to be using some water and glycerin. For my L, for my O, I'm going to be using a combination of castor and extra virgin olive oil. My C, I'm kind of contemplating right now between these two. I'll figure it out in just a second. So let me get started here. Definitely dry to the touch, so we're going to get started by misting the section. Nice spray nozzle. And I usually kind of saturate the section pretty good, especially if it's dry. And this section of my hair is very dry this morning. So I'm kind of working it through. And sometimes that happens. I can't explain it. Sometimes my hair is soft all the way up until it dries. And it looks like that's what happened here. So I've worked that water and glycerin through the section. I'm going to go in with my O, which is the combination of castor and olive oil. Work the way from the ends all the way up, around the margin of that. Still going to split the section. If you feel like the section is more manageable split, then do that. Okay, and as you layer on these different products, my hair is definitely starting to soften up. Now for the C. I'll try this one today. So we're going to go ahead and go in with that. Probably a nickel to a quarter size. It depends on how large the section is. And just separate it. I always try to separate it. Now at this point, guys, I'm going to go in with my Denman. Again, if you feel the section needs to be separated to handle better, especially if you're stretching, and do that. So I've just separated it. I'm detangling from the ends up with my Denman. The point here is just to make sure that the product's distributed and that my hair is actually manageable from the roots all the way down to the ends. So that's the point of me detangling. And right now that feels wonderful. So the section feels hydrated. I'm going to take the second section here and just do the same thing. Detangle from the ends up. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but as I get to the new growth, of course, you can start. And this is my problem area, so you know, you just have to know your hair. And I'm going to still, see there, as we get to the problem area, that is a problem. But you just gently come from the bottom up until you release those. Now, my hair is actually really dry here, so I want to pin this out of the way. Sometimes you have to split a section, and I think I'm going to have to end up splitting this section. Notice that I'm taking the new growth, the hair from the new growth, and I'm pushing it until it stops. So it's sitting right here, so I'm going to go back down and see if I can get those tangles out of here. Gently, guys. You don't want to force anything through the hair and cause unnecessary breakage. Okay, so at this point I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to go in with my wide tooth comb. And my comb goes through the sections pretty good. So notice how different everything was on wet hair versus dry hair. Especially after you're done with a overnight air dry, but you never know how your hair is going to respond to the air dry. And my roots this time seem to be more drier than normal. all I'm doing is just pinning this up since I know I have moisturized and sealed that section with the LOC method. I'm going to move that out of the way and I'm going to move to the next section. Again, I'm going to just, and I can feel it. I can feel my hair that it's drier than norm. But throughout the whole process yesterday, everything seems so soft. So let's go in with start at the root, work my way down, the length of the hair. You don't want to just make it wet. You just know from experience how much you want to spray on your hair. No, I don't use heat. I'm not using heat on my hair. You don't have to, but I want to kind of detangle right now with the water in there with my L. It's up to you when you choose to detangle. I use my Denman when I'm really tackling those stubborn tangles. And so I've detangled this section, which feels better. Notice I waited till after I put the liquid in to do that though. Okay, so now that I have the liquid in, I detangled already. I'm going in with my oil and making sure that I get that around the margin, split it, and make sure that I get within the margin with the oil as well. Don't forget the ends, very important. Don't forget your ends. All right, now that I have the oil, we're gonna go in with our C. And again, you just can do the amount for the section you're doing. That's totally up to you. All right, guys, now that I got that in, I'm just gonna go back in with my Denman just to distribute the product and to get that last detangle in. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm going to twist this up. Why am I twisting it up? I'm just getting it out of the way for styling. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna put this up in a nice, you can just sit it with this one. The point is to detangle my hair before, moisturize my hair and detangle it before I style it. And so we're on this back section here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm going to try to get in the camera so you guys can see what it looks like dry before any product's actually in there. As you can see, I hope you guys can see, the roots of my hair they're really balled up, guys. This is what happens when my hair is fully air dried. So I'm dealing with a lot of dryness right now. So the point for me is to make sure I get my moisture in. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You don't have to concentrate it like I'm doing at the base, the roots. I just know my hair, and I work that moisture throughout the length of the hair from the roots all the way down gently. Just work that in. And that goes back to the saying, you don't want to work with your hair unless you have the adequate amount of moisture, because if you don't, you're going to end up with breakage. So that's why you spritz the L first. That's what I do. That's why I like the LOC method. All right, so we got the L in there, liquid. And again, that's my problem area that you see my hand in right there. Part of the problem area. All right, so let's go in with the oil. Notice I did not detangle this because I feel like it's going to be a challenge. So I'm going to go in with the oil, making sure you concentrate that to the ends of the hair. You can also separate. I can tell because right here at my new growth, there's a lot of thickness, balled up kind of hair going on there. And the fact that I can't separate it easily tells me all I need to know how I'm going to have to handle this section of my hair. Okay, so I got the oil in there. Let's go in with the C, which is this. And working that the same way from the roots all the way down to the ends of the hair, separate. All right, because I know this is a problem area, I'm gonna go ahead and separate my hair. I'm gonna try to detangle that section in 2 smaller sections. That's just the smart thing to do. So from the ends all the way up, I'm gonna detangle. And I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing. But those tangles, they are being pushed down right now. That's why you see me gradually in increments going down to kind of help push those out without breakage. Okay, so that's part of that section that has already been detangled. So since that's been detangled, I'm going to put it here out of the way, and I'm going to grab this section that I just threw over. This section is more challenging because I can feel that with my hands. But again, we start the same way. We're going to start at the ends of the hair, and we're going to work the way up to the problem area. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just gradually working my way down through those tangles. I'm working them out gradually. And you can feel them gradually coming downward. That's why you see me in increments coming down to the ends. I'm going to work my way back up from the bottom up till I get to another problem area. And of course, like I keep saying, this area, I could feel it before I even got in that it was going to be way worse and detangling, so that's why I chose to split that. So I'm putting those 2 back together, and I'm going to take my wide tooth comb and go through the section all the way up to the roots. Everybody has a different way of doing their hair, and trust me, that comes with learning what works for your hair and what doesn't work. So I'm going in now to separate this section, and I'm going to twist it just to keep it out of the way until I put it up in whatever style I'm going to wear. No, you guys are saying, wow, really? You're going to do all of this before you style your hair? Yes. Remember, I've only moisturized this portion of my head. So we're on the last section on the left side of my head. And again, you know, I can feel the difference between the non-moisturized side and the moisturized side. And it's very dry. So I'm going into the roots, work my way to the length and to the ends of my hair with that water and glycerin. I'm going to work that throughout the section with my hands or fingers. And you can take advantage of this point too and gradually, softly, gently pull out any shedded hairs if you feel like doing that. Or you can just saturate that section by just working that through the section. Okay. I know you guys are going to go, well, how do you know if it's too much ODL? How do you know? Your hair will tell you through trial and error. You will know if you've done too much or too little of something. It's the way your hair responds. That's why it's called a journey. You will have to do these things quite a bit to figure your hair out. So I'm adding the oil right now to the section of my hair. I can feel just from the touch of this that this section is not going to give me, it's not going to give me that many problems. All right, so we're going in with the C. And we're going to saturate the section. Separate if you feel like you want to get that throughout the section. And we go back in with the Den Man if you feel, from the ends up, just to work it through the section as well as detangle the section if needed. I notice it depends on how you're doing your hair and what style your hair has been in. This is why I want my hair to be up in some type of protective style. I don't like when my hair is down like this because it coils and I am forced to detangle my hair. Okay, so that section has been detangled, guys. The last section on this side has been detangled. And so I will just twist this up for now. I'm going to finish the side of my hair and then I will just come back to show you guys how I actually put my hair up. This is basically demonstrating how I have been moisturizing and sealing on dry hair with the LOC method at almost 7 months. So I'll be back when I'm done, guys. Okay, YouTube, I just finished moisturizing and sealing my hair. Since my hair is now moisturized and sealed, that I'm now just going to put my hair up in the style that I'm going to choose to do. Also, I'm going to implement this soft bristle brush. This is pretty much how I wear my hair daily without putting any heat in it or gels or anything like that. So that's the front portion, and I'm going to go ahead and brush up the back. I'm going to get this clip. Please keep in mind when you're using stuff like this, you can't just keep putting it in the same position. You have to move it slightly. And when you put these in, you want to make sure that your hair is gripped tightly and firmly. So you can just kind of put a headband on, like so, and be on your way. So I'm headed to the doctor, guys. Hope this LOC method on dry hair helped you guys within a stretch. I see you.